Everybody has seen the hook to a girl. Everybody has been talking about the hook to a girl, but why? What is it about this girl that's kind of captured everyone's consciousness? Because she is really happy. She's really willing. She loves to please her man. That's what's encapsulated in it. Let's just watch it now. Let's watch it.
You gotta give him that hook to and spit on that thing. You get me?
She's vibrant, sassy, sexually free. She's open. She's expressing herself and she just wants to please her man. And the fact is, most men don't really get their women to give them that hook to her. Most men aren't actually experiencing that. But why? Well, if you watch this video, you're going to know why, and you're also going to know how to get your women to give you that hook to her too. But just before we get started, let me just clarify that when I say you're going to get that hook to her, I don't really mean like that specific act of spitting. What I mean is this: how to get your woman, your women, to want you enough and be comfortable enough around you to actually want to do whatever it is that gets you going. So let's get started. The first step, this is the first thing you need to know, is that you need to create a sexual vibe between you and her. Now, what does that mean? What I mean is this: the average man who is in a relationship with some woman, or like he's dating or whatever, they have a very, very, very boring and just slightly above platonic relationship. They don't really have one of sexual exploration. So if you want to have a sexual relationship with a woman in which you guys do all sorts of unusual kinky things, or you just explore fantasies, you have to set that tone from the beginning. If you don't, it will never occur. And the longer that you go having a very normal, regular, vanilla relationship, the more she's going to be hardwired to forever see you that way. And then the longer that happens, the less she's going to be apt to break out of that as well. So what do I mean? It's like you've got to discuss what you really like what really gets you going. You need to discuss fantasies. You have to allow her to express that side of herself as well. So as a woman, it's like, obviously in society we have names for women that are a little bit too free physically, right? It's like we have a lot of denigrating terms for these women, and it's not meant to be a good thing at all. So then now what that then does is that causes, forces, coerces, nudges women to downplay those elements of themselves. And that, and maybe for some other reasons, that means that when they get into relationships with us, they tend to hang back and let us kind of set the tone, right? So you will have women that will be totally prepared to do things, but because the man that they're with doesn't bring that out of them, they just don't do that with that man. Which is why you'll often see things where like on Reddit, there'll be some guy who's married to a woman and he's been with her for a couple of years, and he wants her to do stuff, but she refuses to do it. And then he finds like old videos from college, and she did all of the stuff that she refused to do with him with other men at college. That's because he did not bring that out of her at the beginning. So you have to set the tone for your relationship being sexual. If there's something that you like doing and that you really enjoy doing, that needs to come up at the beginning. Don't wait until you've been with her for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months or a year. At the beginning, you guys want to be having conversations about what really gets you going. From the get-go, first date, second date, third date. That's the kind of stuff you need to be doing. So that's number one. Number two, you got to destroy her in the bedroom. Now, let me just kind of clarify. Kind of like this. Interesting thing about women is that if they are satisfied in that kind of physical sense, they are so much more likely to want to satisfy you. In fact, not more likely, it's like almost certain. Almost certain. If she's really getting what she needs, she's going to want to really give you what you need too. Obviously, a lot of men, most men don't do that for a number of reasons, and then as a result they don't unlock this part of a woman. Trust me when I say that what I'm saying is really true. If you really give it to her good, she's gonna want to give it to you just as well, if not better, which is gonna lead towards the old hook to her. Number three is that you have to be a man who leads. You gotta lead. So what does this mean? When you're with her, on dates with her, you're doing things with her, she needs to be reacting to your energy more than you're reacting to hers. So you're the one suggesting dates. You're the one making first moves. You're the one making first physical moves. You're the one who is creating the vibe and the energy. She is kind of following as you're leading. You know how like in dances like tango and things like this, or salsa, the man leads and the woman follows. Those dances are like a metaphor for life and relationships. And when women are following, that forces them, allows them to, compels them to step into this kind of feminine energy that they really enjoy being in. But when they are leading, then they're taking a more masculine frame, which switches them off sexually. And a woman isn't really going to want to give that hook to a man who she feels like she isn't really a man. If she feels like she has to be the man, she's not going to feel feminine. If she doesn't feel feminine, she's not going to want to give the hawk to her. She'll give the hawk to her to a man who feels like a man that she can submit to. So you got to lead. Another one as well is like you got to be strong and on your own path and your own purpose, and call her out on her BS as well. This is all part of like being a man. So she does things that you disagree with or that you think are silly or whatever. She acts in ways that aren't in alignment with you. Let her know. You'll be surprised how many women love being called out on their BS. Love. It's really interesting because as men, it's like we don't actively enjoy being called out on our crap. I've never met a man who does. I don't. Like, I might like it in terms of, oh, you made a good point, I can work on that in future, but I don't like it. It don't get me going. It's not like, oh, this person just called me out on my crap. But women are actually like that. And if you are willing to, able to just put her in her place and like, nah, we ain't doing that. We're not doing that, we're doing this. Stop doing that, that's silly. Don't do that, this is what we're doing. You can be that kind of strong masculine rock and guide her where necessary. Boy, that hawk to her energy is gonna come out. There's a video I saw on Instagram that actually sums this up perfectly, where it's like this man, this black guy, some content creator or whatever, and he makes a video where I think he's on screen and there's a woman who's meant to be like his girlfriend or whatever, and she's kind of complaining to him about some silliness, and she's like, you know what, you don't do this, you don't do this, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that. And then he goes, no, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna go upstairs, you're gonna get dressed. After you go upstairs and get dressed, we're gonna go out. We're gonna go out for lunch, we're gonna go out for dinner, we're gonna have a great time, we're gonna come home, we're gonna have fantastic sex. That's what's happening tonight. Here's the thing, right? So I say that to you and you go, oh my God, that sounds really controlling, Kieran. Oh my God, how misogynistic, Kieran. In the comments, right? In the comments, you know what's in the comments? Loads upon loads upon loads of young, beautiful, sexy women who are like, OMG, yes, daddy. Yes, daddy. OMG, of course, daddy. Loads. Because they loved that energy, that strong leadership frame. They love that. That's another one. Another one to do is to have a purpose as well. So if a woman feels like she's the cornerstone of your life, like your life revolves around her, she ain't gonna respect you enough to give you that hawk to her. The hawk to her is all about respect, right? Respect. As Randy Marsh from South Park said, respect. Okay, that is what the hawk to her is about. She needs to respect you. You got your own life and your own things that you're doing. You're just living your life. Yeah, you got goals, you got passions, you got hobbies. You are doing your thing. You don't need her at all, because you're chasing this, you're chasing that. You're in service of this. You're moving towards that. Very attractive, and the less you need her, the more she's gonna want to give you the hawk to her. Finally, what is the last one? She needs to know that you have other options where women are concerned. If she feels like you don't have other options, she ain't gonna want to give you that hawk to her. But if she knows that you do, she will. Now, I'll give you like a really good example. If you go to a club, with a beautiful woman. Every other woman there is going to look at you, and you know why? Because you're there with a beautiful woman. And it's like, if you're there with a beautiful woman, that means that you must be a really high value, high status man who they should pay attention to, because they know how judgmental or picky, choosy women are with regards to men. So you being there with her, that's an immediate cosign, which means that you're great, you're amazing. Women really respond to how well regarded you are by other women. That is why, and I've given this example so many times, but that is why in pop group on stage, rock group on stage, male group, friggin' BTS or whatever, all the girls are screaming and going crazy and they're having fits and near orgasms. But men don't do that for female groups. The women do that because the presence of all of these women there, that basically is a huge cosign. I'm one woman and I'm in a huge stadium surrounded by 50,000 screaming girls, and we're all looking at that band on there. That band, they are wonderful, they are as sexy can be. And you know, your woman needs to know that you got options. Like, she believes you've got options. She knows you've got options. She will want to give you the hawk tour because you'll be more attractive, and she'll also want to stop you from pursuing one of these other options. But then, like, how do you let a woman know that you got options? Well, number one, by having female friends. That's a great one. Just having female friends who like you, like spending time with you. That's a fucking fantastic way. There you go. Like, it's just like a subtle reminder. Like, don't ditch your female contacts. Don't at all. Keep them in your life. No one's saying you should do anything with them, but just keep them in your life. Here's another thing that you can do that will actually let her know you got options. This one's a slightly darker one, but let's say you're on a date with your woman, right? You're on a date, yeah, and you go to a bar, and you're at the bar and you're there with her, and the woman says you're at the bar, and it's a woman, right? So you're there with your woman being served by a woman. Crack a joke with the woman serving you. Crack a joke. Crack a joke with the woman serving you about the woman that you're with. Fun little banter. You're not flirting, you're just cracking jokes, being sociable. You know, little things like that. And by the way, doing that with men is also great as well, because if she sees that men like and respect you, she's gonna want you as well. However, like, do it with both. Do it with men and women, but it will be more powerful with women. Yeah, but there you go. That is the end of this video. I do hope you have enjoyed it. Now, I promise you, I don't know like what your specific situation is with women, but if you like take on board the things that have been said, you are gonna get that hawk tour. And by, just to clarify, when I say that hawk tour, I mean whatever it is that gets you going in a physical sense. You're gonna get that if you just do this. I absolutely promise you. That is a promise. Cast iron, no joke, promise. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. If you get any women to give you that hawk tour, do let me know, and you're welcome. And ciao.